Right, working dads should be given 12 weeks paternity leave in the first year of their new baby's life, with 2 weeks paternity leave paid at 90% of their salary. That's the verdict of MPs who say Britain must radically reform parental leave to encourage more fathers to take time off work, or it will never get to grips with the gender pay gap. Conservative MP and Chair of Parliament's Equalities Committee, who brought this report out today, Maria Miller, is here. Also with us, Sarah Morris, who's Chief People Officer at Aviva, and they currently offer equal paid parental leave to both male and female staff. Also with us, Adam Gretton and his daughter Florence. She's nearly 2. I'm not sure how old Adam is, but Adam also has a 5-year-old son called Oscar. And also with us, Martin Leahy. And Rachel Cox, and their baby John, who is 6 months old today. Martin and Rachel are currently both on shared parental leave. OK, thank you all very much for coming on the programme. I want to talk about the cost of this and also the change in culture that might be needed. Paternity leave for dads, which would be 90% of their salary, that's for 2 weeks, and then a separate 12 weeks parental leave in the first year of a child's life. How much would that cost and who would pay for it?
Well, we are putting forward the first proposal, which is 2 weeks at 90%, which we believe is going to help more dads to take that will be paid for by the government and by employers. And the same for the 12 weeks, which is more of a recommendation to government as part of their review of shared parental leave. You know, this is a cost we've got to take on, because if we don't, then we know that 50% of new dads are looking to downtrade their jobs, so to take something on which doesn't use all of their skills. And at a time when we've got a skill shortage, that's something that would affect the productivity of this country. And if we're really going to tackle the gender pay gap, which is one of this government's flagship policies, if we don't help dads to get the balance right, we will never achieve that. So yes, it's an expensive policy, but I don't think the country has got any option other than to move towards it.
Your company already pretty much does this. Why?
We made the decision to do it at the end of last year because for us it's about levelling the playing field. We didn't like the idea that men and women had to choose who would have time out at which point. We also believe there's another angle on this, which is that by some men choosing to take time out, some women choose to come back to work, and we know that getting women to return back to work is really, really important. For us it's about choice. We're not about judging anybody, but it's enabling choice for both men and women. OK, let me bring in Adam, if I may, and Florence. What do you think of these suggestions today, Adam?
I think they're really, it's a really good idea. I think it definitely is, it's needed. At the minute, I think there's a lot of dads who do want to take parental leave and they just can't afford to at the minute. So I took 3 months off with Florence, but that was unpaid leave effectively. So I think what's being proposed today is really promising. I think more dads will take that up. But I think more could be done to help working parents, but I think it's definitely a good step forward. OK,
Martin and Rachel and baby Joni, how are you doing? You are enjoying your time off together, I assume?
We are, very much indeed, thank you, yes. Joni's a bit tired and hungry at the moment, but she's been on good form earlier this morning.
Aren't we all, Martin? Don't worry about it. But what do you think of this idea of dads having 12 weeks parent of a baby's first year of a baby's life?
I think it's a fantastic idea. Similar to Adam, I've taken about 3 months myself, but it was unpaid. Well, I get the statutory shared parental pay, which I've taken from my wife. But I think if it's more a matter of course that men can do this, I think that's only a positive thing for families and also for development of children, particularly at such an early age in their development.
Yeah. What about you, Rachel? I'm dying to know who you've given Joni to, by the way, because suddenly Joni is quiet.
She's gone to her nana,
fair enough.
Helpfully hanging around in the background.
But just to explain for you why it's been important having your baby's father there, your partner.
Yeah, I think those first few months with the baby are so hard on the mum. I mean, they're obviously, you know, wonderful, precious times, but it's so difficult, sleep deprivation. I think by the time I got to the end of my first 3 months of doing it on my own, I was so grateful to know that I would have Martin with me for the next 3 months so that we could do it together. I think the one thing for mothers that's really difficult at the minute is that in order for your partner to take this leave, you know, you have to sacrifice your own leave. So for me, that means I'm going back at 9 months. I can't take the full 12 months. So I think progress in that area would be really positive.
Maria Miller, the government itself admitted to your inquiry, that it's the flagship shared parental leave scheme is not going to meet its objectives for most fathers, i.e. it's not working. What do you think of that?
Well, I think what the government's going to do is to take a long, hard look at that policy this year and make some important reforms. Our inquiry report today suggests 12 weeks, standalone, use it or lose it leave for dads, which in other countries has really helped change the culture, not only amongst employers who start to take it more seriously and don't see it as a detriment to somebody's career to take dad leave, but also for dads to be able to have that right as well and not, as we've just heard, take time away from mum spending time with her child.
OK, thank you all. Thank you very much, and thanks for your patience, and good luck for the birth of your child. Thank you. Is it number 1, 2?
It is, yeah.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. You'll have a brilliant time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Joni. Thank you, Florence.